Hello, 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 hello. So, this is now, to be honest, the second time I'm running through that PowerPoint presentation. And yes, you're very welcome to hear a few words about my ideas concerning harvest technology. So what you see is you get a very short abstract and a little bit about my history and the history of the company. Then I have a short overview over the existing technologies, and the main point are the reasons for new developments which are needed in the harvester scene. And then, of course, we come to the multi-cut harvesting system. So here you have that very short version. I have these three words on the right side, which is precise, flexible, and effective. With precise, we name the ability from that new harvester to cut from really close to zero up to more than 3 meters, and the name in the multi-combine additive is naming that 3,400 centimeters, which we are able to cut in height. Flexible means that the multi-cut system stands for the idea to do several cuttings in a growing vegetation. So our idea is going into the field, taking a little bit, and coming back to a certain point later in the year. Effective is for the idea that we are not throwing any parts of the plant which we are harvesting on the ground, but we are taking it with a completely new invented conveyor belt system into our huge bunker in the back. That was now the idea, to give you my name and my number and my address. For all these people in the audience who do not want to know more, they can leave now. Otherwise, I will tell you a little bit about the company. So that Hanf Farm company, which means hemp farm, was founded in 1996. I did my first steps in the big organic fair, BioFach, 1997. From that point, the product range was expanded a lot. And later on, I found in the company Hempro International GmbH & Co. KG, we found a good distribution partner to do all the huge amount of retail business and all that thing. So Hanf Farm is more concentrated on bulk sale of raw materials, which we have from all parts of the plants, which are, of course, at first the seed and seed products, and after that we have leaves and flowers, which we offer in a dried and selected quality, and then we have the straw at the end, which is interesting as well, and more over the next years when we find better ways to process these fibers into maybe cellulose or something like that. So the existing technology, this is a very, very short overview about what maybe some of you guys have seen in the last years. All these machineries are very good working, very good ideas, and it is not saying these machines are not good, but the thing is, I was not convinced, because I have learned in the last years that the demand of the market has changed a lot. So it is not the focus on the straw, but the focus, as you have heard from Daniel before, our focus at Hanf Farm was always food products from the seed. So there was no really satisfying technology available for the best seed quality. All these treasure systems, which we see there on the left side, for example, they are not just good enough. And now I come to the reasons for new developments in the harvest technology. This is at first that we see in the agriculture that these fields are, there's a certain need for conditioning the length of a growing cultivation. And we can do that with our machinery, with the first cut early in the year. After that, we are able to go into that field again and do very, really precise cuttings, and we are able to harvest exactly that part of the plant, what we like. Moreover, we are able to cut totally different lengths, so exactly what we are looking for, we can go into the field and, for example, we take 10 centimeters length, we can take 20 or we can take 50 centimeters. The fourth point is the multiple cut system, which is saying we can go several times into the growing vegetation, and at least is the instant collection of the harvest. So this is an example for the reason one, conditioning. You can see the line on the bottom. It is after the first conditioning cut, and in the background it is that field which is too irregular for a precise harvest cut. Then we have these selecting the parts which we want to harvest. So the first arrow maybe is for a flower cut, then you have a middle cut, and at the end, if you want to go into the seed harvest, you need to cut a little bit further down. Different lengths, I was talking about it. One very special invention, which is not mine, but we adapted, the double blade technology, which is very, very important for a precise and a careful cut of the plant, which you see on the right side, on the left side, on the left side. On the right side you see a sample for a exact 20 centimeter cut. That multiple, again, you see now the track of the harvester, these little dark lines in that green field. That's all what you see from the track. And so it's very easy to understand that we are not disturbing the vegetation or destroying, excuse me. So the field will grow and grow, and we will come to harvest again. That instant collection is now shown on the pictures, where you can see the very huge conveyor belt system and a little from the bunker on the right side. And here it is. Now I proudly present you the multi-combine HC 3400 in a little more detailed view. So at first, a few pictures about the carrier vehicle, then the double blade cutting unit, that huge swing arm in front of the machine, the belt conveyor system and the bunker. So here you see the next overview. It is great, there are overviews again. Here and the machine just attending the field. Here, for example, the tires, which are only 38 centimeters slim, but close to 2 meters high. And the idea is to get a good ground clearance with that system, because we don't want to destroy the growing cultivation while we are harvesting. And we have a comfort cabin on that truck, so we have everything you need. And we have air suspension heating, and we have a special seat system which is very, very comfortable. CD, radio, and windscreen washers, of course. Now we are coming to really a special part of the idea of that machine. That is a hydraulic engine. The engine is from a very well-known company, Deutz Fahr, but behind it you don't have anything else than three big hydraulic pump systems, and in there is that load sensing oil system, which is yes, fantastic working. So we are working only with oil pressure with that machine. The cockpit, I can do that much more better. Yes, test. Okay, this is just a short view in the cockpit, where you have the GPS system and the camera, one of the cameras on the monitor. There are several cameras to have a good overview over the machine, and the GPS system is very important for the modern agriculture, because yes, this is a very clever idea to count everything what you like and to come back without any trouble into the same track you once have driven. And the other thing is that the machine has a self-steering, so it is driving on its own, or it is steering on its own, and it is very precise and good driving. Here you have a kind of idea of the ground clearance. So there's a next thing which is very clever. We can adjust the ground clearance from 1.20 meters to 1.60 meters. So the whole truck can lift up to 40 centimeters if a higher ground clearance is needed, if the vegetation is high enough. And now we have a very short film for you, which shows you that this is not only an idea. If you would have speakers now, you would have here a fantastic sound of the 250 horsepower diesel machine, and you would hear all these double blade clicking, and you would see, yes, you can see now that everything is turning. And I did not mention that since 2 weeks we have that harvester running on our field, so we are in a very, very early stage. And oh, yes, that's it. Thank you very much. And
good sound.
So the cabin is suited very high on the machinery, so the view for the pilot is extremely good. And at the end now you see that bunker system, which is really huge, with 20 room meters in it. And yeah, this is it. And the idea was, okay, you can imagine that this technology was developed especially for hemp, but on the other hand, another fortune is that the harvester can go into other crops as well. So if you imagine herbs, or if you imagine tea, or you have other medical plants, it is maybe a good idea to use that machine even if you don't have hemp on your fields at other times of the year. So I thank you all very much for your attention, and I'm open for your questions if there are some.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leon. You are now Global Hemp Technology Innovation winner.